the Z-Rods and Customs guys who have that crazy carbon C-10. I don't know if you saw that, just like stellar. And it's,
I need to go back and look at everything because there was some amazing
stuff.
Oh yeah.
You need to see this truck because it's an all carbon truck. Is so beautiful. You would swear it's never been driven before. Not bullshit. It's already gone off track once with Kyle Tucker behind the wheel from DSE. Kyle Tucker helped them to develop all the suspension and chassis components for this thing. And Kyle's the one that's going to be driving that truck all season long this year, competing.
Nice.
You know, and the thing is stunning, you know, and the Z-Rods guys are like, hey, any chance you'd want to shoot this thing? And like, well, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to High Octane Hustle. I'm Fastlane Jane.
And I'm Design Muse.
And this is...
Not either one of them. This is Shawn.
Shawn. Second time.
This is Shawn Autotopia LA. Shawn Davis Autotopia LA. I already warned you ahead of time. All this medication, I'm not myself today.
We love it.
Are you a fun... Wait, are you a
different
They're not
version?
hallucinogens. These are doctor prescribed.
That's what they all say.
Doctor
The first day in
prescribed,
rehab.
They're usually the worst, the doctor prescribed ones.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then they like to
man.
mix stuff.
They're
They're like, here a little of this and a little of that.
That's why
And
they call
think
it
it's gonna work.
practicing medicine,
That's
right?
what I've always said that.
It really is.
I've
I've
always said that.
I've come to appreciate that concept more than ever. It's like, well, we think it's going to do this.
Yeah.
You
We're
kind
going
of
to
have
practice
to,
on you.
yeah.
You're a lab rat, and
Yeah,
we're just
we're
going
going
to
to practice
figure it
on you.
out.
Let's see
You
how it
always
goes.
have to be your
Do you practice
own
building or do you build cars?
She builds shit.
Exactly, right?
So I don't want to drive something that's just in practice.
Exactly.
You know, like,
No.
kind of think we got this?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know for sure?
No, I don't say I'm practicing. I
No.
do that.
Yeah, you do
That's
that.
what
You do that, you knock it
100%.
out, do it right, and move
Yes,
on.
yes.
Yeah.
Doctors and meteorologists. Job security.
The weather,
Even
I guess
when
it
they're
hailed
wrong,
yesterday.
Right? It did.
Man.
My car is a mess.
People were saying that. It's like, what?
I don't know
I didn't
what
catch that part,
happened.
but it was definitely raining over
Yeah,
here.
Yeah.
it was pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, Shawn, it's great to have you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we really want to catch up and see all the cool things you have going on because, the first episode was really about how you got in and how you got started with Autotopia, and so, like, kind of where you're at right now with it. I mean, hey, I saw you at SEMA, and I said you were up there being an MC, a host at the Roadster Shop party, and you were fantastic at that too. So we'll touch on that too. But yeah, I mean, I guess.
What's new?
I know, right?
What she's asking
it's
is
just so
what's
big of a
happening?
question.
What's
but
new?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
there's a few things actually. So there's a little bit of the same place, same thing in that, I still run my shop every day and with the vehicle storage facility. And then there's the YouTube channel, which is shooting automotive stuff. That's same place, but not, you know what I mean? In the sense that it's something we do all the time. But then there's some new pieces that have come into play just in the last few months that I'm really excited about. So I partnered up with a guy and his son. This guy's had a lot of success in the tech world. And he approached me with the concept of creating a variation of like Bring a Trailer or Cars and Bids, believing that because of his tech prowess and the infrastructure that supports his businesses. So we've come up with a name. It's called Legacy Auto Co. We're getting close. We just did a walkthrough of the website with the developer and stuff. And it's not just a website, this is a place where people will go to buy and sell vehicles. We're going to launch it as a brokerage site first because there's not enough traffic yet to really make sense to try to do the auction thing. And then if we can get this thing to really take off, we want to transition it to an auction site. It'll be more focused on specialty vehicles, custom stuff that I like. Although it won't be limited to that. But within the website, you'll be able to go get pre-approved for an auto loan, which is really cool to let a guy know right there how much he can get approved for and and be able to have some form of an impulse buy.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because you
Some
know what?
form of an
I think
I've
it's
got
really
100K right
important.
there. Okay, what can I? This is my range.
But really, that's
Yeah.
that's the idea, is to try to simplify it down, even for somebody that goes, well, I want to sell my car and I'm going to try bring a trailer. Bring a trailer is not the easiest anymore since they sold the company. You know, it's changed quite a bit as I understand. So where it used to take a week or so to get your vehicle listed, now it could take 6-7 months to get it listed.
Yep.
So
and they only accept certain things. There's
Yes.
certain guidelines that you really
very
have
much
to,
so.
Yep,
Very much so.
yeah.
And no knock on them. They built it. I
It's
mean,
just
hell,
different.
these guys started that company and grew it to
they did
over $1 billion
doing really well.
in worth and sold the company.
Yeah.
So they've done a hell of a job with it. But we'll be structured in a manner that for the guy or girl that wants to take their car to bring a trailer but doesn't really understand the process of it, because it's not an easy one. You know, beyond just getting it to the point where, okay, now it's listed and your auction is live, there's all the interaction that has to happen. There's people commenting nonstop, good, bad, otherwise, questions, what have you. And so we'll have the ability for a small additional fee. They can list it with us. It'll show up as for sale on our site at whatever the price is, or a call for price. But then we can also run their bring a trailer auction for them. So the mutual benefit on both sides is the added traffic coming from both sides. So it's pretty exciting, the stuff we're working on. Then that's parlaying into, this guy's wild. This guy Alan that I met, he's been very successful. He's a very smart guy. He's highly
And how did you guys
guy.
meet? Like what?
He contacted me because of the channel.
Sure. Okay.
And with this idea, he knows that we have some level of influence. When he mentioned Cars and Bids, I said, well, just so you know, when Doug DeMuro started Cars and Bids, I think he had 3-4 million subscribers. I said, we're just knocking on the door of 500,000. So I don't have anywhere near the influence that Doug DeMuro had when he started his. But that was the initial approach, was because I have some influence through the channel and social media outlets.
Yeah.
So he also had this other concept that I'll talk loosely about it. I don't want to really give up the secrets of it, but it's we very well could end up starting a low volume manufacturer business, starting with one vehicle that we have very specific in mind. Kind of the Icon model, the Singer model, Velocity Modern Classic. There's a good handful of companies now that are doing the low volume manufacture where it's a, what I mean, like a semi-optionable vehicle. Maybe you do a bespoke interior to it and you have a different engine choice or something. You know what I mean? But the idea, and you know it well because you live in the world of actually building custom stuff. And when you do a one-off custom, like so many of my friends, Timeless Customs and Rides by Cam, and on it goes.
Yeah.
You know what it is. A one-off custom is, with a good staff of people, is a 2 to 3, 4 year project.
Oh, yeah. It depends on the level of what that needs to be. Just like talking to Chris, I mean, you have a $165,000 car and you have $1 million car.
Right.
What are you looking at?
And the $1 million car didn't start as $1 million car.
No.
It started as, let's build this radical, super cool car.
Yeah.
And then it just kept snowballing, you know, and that's very, very, very typical of the business of one-off customs.
Totally.
A $200,000 budget and a 1 year project turns into a 5 year project and $1 million.
Yep.
And I'm not knocking it. I'm obsessed with that industry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what we shoot on our channel predominantly. But the idea of the low volume manufacturer to me is really exciting because you're creating something that's unique, bespoke at a certain level. But it's also replicatable. So now you have a business model that makes sense. Because otherwise, let's be honest, the custom car builder, the day he or she stops building those one-off customs, their business is over with and their earnings go away.
Yeah.
There is no more money coming through the door.
Yeah.
It's why I went into manufacturing as well, because
100%.
because doing bumpers and stuff like that. Now there is a product that can still be continued to be sold as we're building the custom vehicles. And so there's a product there. And yes, the replicating it, that's huge. It really is.
So I'm super excited. These are new things that are in deep talks right now. The brokerage site, we're definitely, that's gonna launch. Like I just got to do a full walkthrough the other day with the developer. And the developer is a company that's done, I can't remember if they built Bring a Trailer. I think they were the ones that built the actual functioning site of Bring a Trailer. And then other dealership sites. I think they work with Vanguard. I know they work with Fusion Motor Company. So these are guys that have a lot of experience in building a dealer-based website with all the infrastructure so people can plug in.
There's so much.
So much too. I
Right?
mean, having the walkthrough of it the other day, I was like, holy shit, I understand 4 out of every 6 words that are spoken. Acronyms where I'm like, the hell's that? Like literally no idea, I mean, I'm good with ROI, but they start pulling out these other ones. I'm like, the hell are they talking about right now?
You need a
and
cheat sheet.
topping off, I'm all spaced out because of these medications this week. So I'm sitting there in this meeting, like staring at the computer screen. The poor guy on the other end's probably going, who the hell is this zombie over here, man? Like, sure you want to be in business with this dude? No, he's really cool, I swear. Yeah, so that's exciting stuff going on right now. And then, business-wise, it has nothing to do with my world, but the closeness to my friend Chris and the Vicious Mustang and
Baja Forged, signature vehicle builds and off-road products built to forge your own path. Baja Forged was basically made because we loved off-roading. We loved the open roads. If you're looking for off-road products to help you get out on the terrain, visit bajaforged.com. Follow us on Instagram at Baja Forged for our latest builds.
Since 1987, GTS Customs has specialized in resto mod Corvettes. From widened bodies to pro touring vehicles with all today's modern technology. If you've got a Corvette, an old Corvette, and you want to make it drive like something new, contact gtscustoms.com.
what happened to that car, the Vicious 2.0, now back out in the world. Me getting to drive it. Hell, I got to drive the car before him for the video we did for the car. If I didn't know him so well, I would have felt guilty, but I didn't at all. I was smiling and banging gears. And like, I was having a blast.
Giddy like a kid, huh?
Yeah. But that's really the new stuff, and then I know we'll go to a SEMA conversation at some point, but so I still consider myself super new to the industry. I've talked to both of you about it, right? I'm honestly 10 years of working in it, but 7 to 8 years of deeply immersed in it daily,
and 5 years understanding it.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding. I'm
no,
totally
but seriously,
it is overwhelming. Yeah.
And this year, and I got to credit the Roadster Shop guys a lot.
Yeah.
The friendship that we've created since we went out to Illinois and shot with those guys. For one, it's really enjoyable because they're just wonderful guys. I mean, they're such cool people. I'm a fan of what they do from the custom build side to the chassis business that they've created. I have a feeling, my gut tells me that by them inviting us out, shooting with us, and those videos doing very well, they're all edging on 1 million views at this point. I think it gave us a level of credibility that we might not have had previous to that. I think by the Roadster Shop guys saying, hey, these guys are cool.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden everyone's going, oh, these guys are cool.
It's a different community because you are probably getting views from the general public of people that enjoy vehicles and want to do a walk around, but Roadster Shop is another level of the builders that are out there and the people that buy those vehicles.
Yep. And so the level of just credibility I think it brought to the channel has been really fun to have people
cool.
like Andy Leach reaching out to me when he was taking that Buick Invicta before SEMA. They took it up to Monterey for Monterey Car Week. And while he was there, he contacted me and said, hey, I saw that video you did on the Roadster Shop, the Joe Rogan CUDA. And he said, when I worked for Troy, I did a lot of the metal work on that car. I was like, oh, I know who you are, Andy. Like, I'm kind of, I'm like a little kid over here going, holy shit, it's Andy Leach calling me.
Yeah.
Like geeking on it, And he's like, hey, I don't know if you've seen this Buick that we built. I said, I might have drooled on your car at Grand National Roadster Show last year. Yes, I've seen it, And he's like, well, we're in Monterey right now. Is there any chance when we leave Monterey, could we bring it down? Would you want to shoot the car? I mean, before he could even finish his sentence, it was like, yes. What time, when, where? Yes. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. They had issues with the car at Monterey. But, that's something that's going to happen. I mean, like getting these guys, and I know you guys have been around this industry a long time. I know you've been deep in it for a lot of years, as have Marcel and Jason. But for me, like feeling a little bit still like a newcomer, geeking out on this shit.
Oh, totally.
Like, totally geeking
I feel
out
like
on
we
it.
still do too, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, but you still get excited about it. I mean,
love hearing that.
you know, like
Yeah.
totally.
I love hearing that because
Oh, yeah.
I know some of my pals, like Shawn Smith, right? My designer buddy
Yeah.
Shawn. He's hilarious. Like when SEMA comes around, he's all grumbly and pissed off about it. And partially that's just Shawn. He's that guy. But like he's been going for I think 25 years now and has never missed a year. Has taken vehicles when he was young, you know, like stuff he built with his dad. And so he still gets excited for it, but it's different. It's very, very, very about business for him. He gets in, does his business, gets out.
Sure.
I can't sleep the night before I leave town.
Yeah.
I literally am like,
Yeah.
we're going to SEMA tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to SEMA. You know,
Yeah.
like a little kid
Like a
about to
kid.
go to
I-
Christmas.
Disneyland.
Still,
I swear to you, though.
still,
Yeah.
still, I'm like that.
Are you?
Oh yeah, 100%. Most of the time, it's because I'm working on vehicles further
Right.
and still working on them and doing
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
for the most part, oh no, I still get excited about every little aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people it's like my family. It like really is. It's like when you find other people that you can talk to that get so excited about things like that,
Yeah.
like other people just don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't understand why you're in the garage all night working on stuff or
Yeah.
why that's important to you going there. Like
Yeah.
it's a different level. So
Well, and it's so hard to explain to somebody that's never been to SEMA
Yes.
what it is. You know, well, it's Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association. It's about the aftermarket industry.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So there's parts. Well, yeah, there is.
But they're really cool
How do we
parts.
promote these parts? Oh, we have custom builders bring really cool shit. You know,
Yeah.
and like. You know, so my perspective on it is more from the enthusiast side, you know.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of mind numbing walking around it, you know, and
It is.
seeing what's there, being there days before to watch cars loading in where you're like, holy shit, that thing actually runs. Because you know what I mean? There's plenty of pushers
pushers.
that
Plenty
show up.
that don't. Yeah.
yeah, totally.
And to see some of these vehicles running on their own power, you know, you're like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a geek for it. I'm having fun.
That's
Yeah.
good. No, and I feel like a lot of the people that go to SEMA like haven't lost that passion. Some have, and I get that. I understand because you either deal with certain people that make it not as fun, I guess, you know, and so.
Right.
Hopefully you haven't got there yet. It sounds like you said, Roadster
at
Shop,
all.
like they've been great to you. But yeah, I mean, for me, no, it's never, I don't know.
Doesn't get old.
No, it doesn't. And it's evolved for me. So like one of the things about SEMA that a lot of people didn't realize, and it's obviously changed over maybe the last 6 years, I think prior to COVID, but vehicles that went to the SEMA show, they were all the brand new vehicles for the next year model that were coming out that were customized and went to the LA Auto Show and the Detroit
Yeah,
Auto Show.
yeah.
So they were showcased there for the first time where only the industry could see them when there wasn't consumers going to the show.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was like the sneak peek. Like we got to see all the stuff before the rest of the world saw it.
Right.
You know, and that's
Yep.
kind of what that was in the reveals at SEMA. Like that's the exciting part of it. And people don't get that or they didn't understand that. They just saw it in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't know. It's kind of evolved and changed, but you know, I feel like everything we do is evolving and changing now.
I mean,
so.
I hope so. You
Yeah.
know, it like otherwise things become stagnant and, you know,
Totally.
sometimes growth is painful and it certainly can suck at times, but like, I don't know. Otherwise, what are you going to do? The same thing for 40 years and get a gold watch and, you know, and then what you do
Cry.
the old, get in an RV and drive around the
Cry.
country, you know, and like,
No, and you know, for me, for my perspective of like, they're bringing in consumers, right? It definitely changes how the show feels. But at the same time, if we don't do that, how is it going to grow our industry? How are people going to get excited about what the heck the SEMA show is?
Yep.
You know, we're keeping them out. So by bringing them in, they get more excited about knowing what it is we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think it gives them an opportunity to see the impact that they potentially could have or their kids could have, and then discussing maybe where they'd be with regards to legislation. And there is so much far-reaching
Yeah.
with regards to, get the consumers in and let them know that we want them on our side.
100%.
We want to
a lot of them
modify our
don't,
cars.
and they don't know about what's going
Right?
on and why.
Absolutely.
And so being part of SEMA like that helps them understand that like we're all together on this. Of like we love cars and we
then-
love doing
Yeah.
this. you
Yeah,
know?
and then having an opportunity for them to go to, say, SEMA Ignited and everything that's happening with SEMA Fest, having the general populace come in and be exposed. Like maybe they're not 16 anymore, like we were exposed by our parents, but maybe just make it a little bit more fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, SEMA Fest was great. I mean, I didn't even end up staying for it, but I mean, just all the photos. I think that's the idea is we need to get the next generation in and
Yeah.
excited. It's what you do. It's like, tire slaying and all of this stuff. I mean, people want to
Yeah.
see fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I totally agree.
Right?
Totally agree.
It's
Yep.
what
Yep.
you get views on your channel. I mean, what do you go out? You showcase a vehicle, but it's about driving it. And
Oh
having
yeah,
fun with
definitely.
it, right?
It's so funny burnouts. I saw a comment the other day because we shot.
Oh, I saw that same comment.
Have you seen?
I saw that
That was
comment.
funny.
And I'm like,
Have you seen
wrong
this?
with that person?
Have you seen it's a truck we just shot. The guy had it on Hoonigan before, actually twice on Build Biology, and then he did this versus that. It's a square body C10 with a flatbed back to it. It's a work
Okay,
truck. It's
okay.
technically a
Yeah,
work
yeah,
truck, right?
okay.
But it's a full crazy custom chassis
Yeah.
that he
It's
built
dual
underneath.
axle.
He's got
Yeah.
all this race background. It's the first time I'd ever heard of a 5-link rear end. I didn't even know about a 5-link rear end.
Okay.
So
I
and
didn't
he-
either.
and
Definitely
because-
I was like,
yeah,
where's
and because the whole rear
where's
of
the
it,
extra link? But
because
yeah.
the whole rear of it's exposed, you can
Sure.
actually see. So he was able to walk me through the
Yeah.
whole thing. But it's funny, that one, I thought this episode would go crazy because it's really a unique bitchin' super rad build that he did. But the thing won't do a burnout because it just hooks and goes. It hooks and goes.
got
I mean,
it.
he's got a 383 stroker, fully built. He's making just shy of 600 horsepower out of a stroker motor. Plenty of power to spin tires. So one of the comment was like, I come here for the burnouts. 13, blah, 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 whatever. The driving starts. 20 minutes in, baby burnout happens. And the guy was all bent out of shape because we weren't doing Hoonigan
burnout.
smoking tire shit. And I was like, bro, you should be impressed with that. The guy put his foot to the floor and the car went, and then it just took off.
launched.
Like it just bolted, and like, all right, you come here for the burnout. Sorry, we let you down, buddy. Don't watch our next episode. We shot a show car that we're not allowed to drive. You're going to really hate me on that one. I swear.
But it's true. That's the popular thing right now, and that gets
Totally.
views, I'm sure, right?
It does.
I know.
Either burnouts get views or when people really hate a car, it gets views.
Yeah.
Like my buddy
Great.
Dustin built this nostalgia hot rods out in Vegas. He built a 69 Roadrunner he calls Roid Runner. We shot that recently. We weren't allowed to drive it because it's in total show status right now. I mean, this is a car that they replaced, put it this way, every panel, every piece of metal on the car has been replaced from what was original to the car. Even the friggin' A-pillars, because they did a chop to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So they just made their own A-pillars for fitment and stuff. And people are hating on this thing. I called Dustin right away. I was like, dude, don't let this go to your ego. Don't let it kill you here. It's one of many cars you built, and it's so extreme that I told him from the get-go, I said, this is going to be
So
a
you have
love it or
like
hate it.
purists or something, basically, that are just
People
hating
losing
on
their
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Why destroy a perfectly good Roadrunner? Well, I don't
Why
know. There was
not?
192,000 of them originally
Yeah.
made. We're okay if we lost one friggin' Roadrunner. Sorry, Mopar guys, because I know how you are. Change a nut and bolt, and it's like, well, that's not what came on that car. It's like, no, it's not. We said this up front, but it was funny because that video overnight, like 600, 700,000 views on it.
But the hating part of it. That's what they
99% of it was some version of why. It's like, well, why? Because the owner had a lot of money
Because he
and Dustin
could.
was bottomless. He's
Because
like,
we could.
hey,
Because we could.
hell yeah, we can change every panel on the damn car.
It's always these armchair builders that pop in
Totally.
and have some
Armchair
sort.
builders.
Well, I don't know.
I
What else
like
do you
it.
call them? They're sitting there going, You just kind of keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors, I know. Yes,
I
get it.
Whatever.
I think as an artist, though, to be honest with you, I was a working musician most of my life, right?
Yeah.
And the worst thing anybody could say when you showed it, hey, check out this new song I got, and they're like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fucking, I just busted my ass for 2 days, cried, sweat, went insane
Right?
over
But
here.
it was only 2
And the
days.
best you got is it was nice.
Yeah.
And I told Dustin with that car, I was like, bro, love and hate's great because you elicit a response out of
Yep.
people, and that's what you're doing as an artist. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's like, if people hate it, who cares? Show me what you built, dude. Hate away. That video went ballistic. I love when people hate it. When I see hatred show up in the comments, I'm
Yep.
like, oh, this is going to be a killer video. I swear to you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. That's one of the things I love to do on your channel is read the comments.
Oh,
Hilarious.
like,
I'm not going to lie. Because even
Hilarious.
on Instagram, meh. It's like,
Yeah.
meh,
Yeah.
what? And
I
then
just showed
and then
you this, and all you got is meh.
And then you troll their profile.
Oh,
and you're
sorry, we're
like,
too good for you.
Meh on his profile.
I tell
right?
people a
Which
lot
is
in
just
comments
amazing.
because I fire back at them a lot,
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I hope I have the pleasure of meeting you someday.
Right.
And we're going to have a fun conversation.
Right.
Because
Teach you
now you
about-
ain't going to be able to just
Get
blow
from
off a
out
couple
behind
words
there,
and walk
yeah.
away.
Go ahead.
You have to deal with this,
Yep.
And then
Let's
when
do
people
this.
don't understand burnouts, I don't understand that.
I know.
No lie. It's like, what? What are you kidding? You
Yeah,
don't like
yeah.
doing that?
Why do donuts? It's
Why?
you're wasting tires.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why do you
kinda,
follow this channel?
Yeah, totally.
And I
Totally.
smile and I laugh the whole time.
And
It's
we're
so
Yeah,
having-
because it's just there's no. I mean, if you can't appreciate a good burnout, oh, I hate brake standing burnouts. Why? They're smokier than ones that go down the road. They're cool. I mean, I know they're as stupid as it gets. Oh, it's really hard to put your foot on the brake and stand on the gas pedal.
I had to do that with
cares?
my
It's-
72 El Camino. That was the only way I could get a one-legger burnout out of
Yeah.
it.
It's
Yeah.
And then I
bitchin'.
graduated to posi.
Yeah.
Burnouts are awesome. I mean, hell, I still like, I geek out on it. I can't tell you why. It's like
Right?
5-year-old shit where you go,
Right?
Exactly.
I swear. I mean, really.
Well, it's like the video
Totally
that I
what it is.
reposted Sideways. What did I do? Sideways Sunday. And you're just like, yes.
Love
In
it.
my car. Yeah.
like literally love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a
did the
million
same
and one
thing.
You
burnouts.
either
and-
get it or you don't. And that's
Yeah.
my point. You do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
just understand it, and
Yep.
if someone else doesn't, awesome. Great.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Totally cool. I agree.
I agree.
Funny stuff. Yeah. So
just
what else
wa-
is new? We started the conversation with what's new. I told you guys I'm spaced out. Watch out, man. I could
That's okay.
Like,
like
watch out.
literally
It's
out of
crazy
nowhere
because
that
you
just the
stayed
thought
on
came into
course.
my head. And I was
You-
like, shit,
you
where are we going here?
Okay.
What are we
You
doing?
stayed
Okay.
on course. So tell us about you did something at SEMA for the Roadster Shop.
I was a rock star.
Yes.
You were. I would
Yes.
have to say
Well,
you
you've
were.
done it a couple times in your lifetime then. You've
It
been a
was-
rock star.
It was so funny. Jeremy from the Roadster Shop called me up. I don't know. It was like a month or so before SEMA, or actually, I might have called him and gone. So I guess you guys aren't doing a party because you know how they do a party every
Yeah.
year. I
You
hadn't
didn't get
heard
an invite
anything
yet
about
and
it, and
stuff.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, they're either not doing one
Yeah.
or I'm definitely not cool enough yet. And he goes, "Oh yeah, go figure. We just pulled it together last minute." He said, "We just nailed down Jewel at the Aria." He said, "We're renting the whole place out. We're really going big." He's like, "By the way, we do awards for the 5 best on RS and then the 3 best on all the rest, they call it. Would you want to host it?" He said, "Would you do like a mini version of Autotopia LA?" I'm like, are you kidding me? Bro, I'm born for this shit, man.
Yeah.
And and I was really geeking out that they had asked me.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I was
cool.
so geeked out about it. So then I called Jeremy multiple times. I'm like, "Hey, bro, so we can talk through this thing?" We'll just wing it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but like maybe we should just like a little
Just
baby
like 5
conversation
minutes?
about it.
Can we just have 5 minutes?
So then the day of the party, I run into Josh from Roadster Shop, Josh Henning, and we're both smokers. So we're out back having a cigarette. We bump into each other. He's like, "Hey, dude, do you want to talk through what we're going to do tonight?" I was like, "Oh my God, thank you." I said, "I've been bugging Jeremy to the point where Jeremy's like, 'Hey, bro, we're working on this merger thing. Like we got bigger fish to fry.'" Kind of, I think that was his thinking, and
Yeah.
the air motive
Yeah,
thing,
because that's where I went. That's why I went to the party. Is that
Got
side
it.
of it? Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah, so Josh and I talked through it,
Yeah.
and it was honestly, it was a 3-minute conversation.
Sure,
I was
but
like, "Well,
just
Jeremy
to-
said this, and I'm thinking this, and what do you?" And he's like, "Okay, cool, look, great, awesome." And that's all it took was a few
Yeah.
minutes, and then What was funny that night too was Tim, who was hosting.
Yeah, Tim Strange. Yeah.
Friggin' guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, killing me.
Yeah.
Like
he was like standing on top of everything, and
I'm just saying whatever the hell comes out of his mouth, totally politically incorrect.
Yeah.
I'm dying laughing, listening to the guy, and I'm like, holy shit, I got to follow this guy. Like, I'm not funny. Like every once in a while, I can throw one out there, and it's like, haha. But I'm not funny guy. Like Tim's just one of those funny dudes, you know, and then I'm like, well, shit, how do we work this in? He's already about to announce the first 3 best on RS. I'm like, wait, aren't I supposed to be doing something here? The sound guy comes over, hands me a mic. He's like, hey, dude, I think it might be better if you have a mic also.
Yeah.
Boom, on switch. Instantly took over. And it was so much fun to get to, like, for one, getting to announce Chris Ashton that him and the Ruffian guys won the best on all the rest. I thought it was great because I don't know if you saw the cars that Chris and the Ruffian guys brought out, the Galaxy and the 67 Mustang, but really exceptional.
I didn't see them in person. It was cool that you guys, they had them playing there so we could see them. Yeah.
I mean, like,
I didn't have a chance to walk the show really, but no,
so exceptional what those guys brought,
totally.
you know. And I'm a big fan of Chris, anyways. His first car that he built, the '69 Mustang or '70 Mustang. Ever since then, I've been a fan of his. But now he's gone from being a hobbyist to, he bought a building, he loaded it up with all the right tools and stuff, and has a few guys working for him. And they went really, so it was fun to get to announce Chris because I'm such a fan of what he does.
Sure.
And then, again, me being the new guy, right, and geeking out on, like, I know Jim and Mike Ring pretty well. I've gotten to know them through the years. Never met Kindig and Kev Dog before. I was cracking up at how cool they were. Andy Leach, I had never met. I've only talked to him on the phone once. Steve from East Bay Muscle Cars and Jonathan Goolsby. And I'm like standing there with these guys going, holy shit, I got to keep it together and like announce something and make sense here.
I think it was great because you pull, like, even when they started kind of going off and you're like, what are you talking about? Like, you knew every aspect of every build, and that was great because you kept them on point of like, well, what about this and this? And they're like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, the idea was like
because you're such a kid in the candy store and you get so excited about builds, it shows.
It was
and
so
everyone
fun.
Else, like, that really shows. Yeah.
So much fun with those guys, man. Especially like I had a conversation with all of them up front. I was like, hey, guys, so Jeremy and the guys want me to do a mini version of what we do on Autotopia LA. Usually we would spend 20 minutes or so going through your build. Now what we need is the 2-minute bullet point version. So like Steve, it's a 67 Mustang. We did a ton of fab work on it, paint, body, blah, blah, blah. And it's got this engine, this transmission, boom, next, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, and by the way, you know how microphones work, right? He's like this. I'm like, no. And I'm trying to put it in his face, And he's like, oh, so we made some custom tail lights.
Totally.
And the bezels were really beautiful. I'm like, no. We need bullet points here, buddy. Oh, okay. And then we tucked and flushed the bumpers and like, bro. So then I didn't know what else to do except for mess with them a little bit. And I was like, all right, everyone's getting bored here. We want to drink, and it was,
you were in your element.
I had so much fun, so much fun getting to do that, And
I said, but it feels like a big family, right? Once you're like really in it, you feel like that. It doesn't feel like this, like, oh, I'm just sitting here, like everyone there like cares about what's going on, you know? Like,
well, and to me, the enthusiast guy, right? So these are some of the legends of the industry for builders.
There was a lot of big people in that room, totally.
There really was. Yeah. But with every one of these guys, so far anyways, from my experience, with every single one of the guys or girls that I've met that are the legends of building vehicles, they're just normal folks.
Yeah.
They're like super cool, down to earth. They're not as impressed with themselves as I am with who they are,
Yeah.
Even like the Roadster Shop guys. I mean, I had heard things about them before, like, oh, they're kind of into themselves and and all this stuff. They were the nicest freaking guys in the world. Yeah. When we went out there and shot with them, they were just nice, down to earth, accommodating to us, wanted to make sure we got great content. we went out and got drunk and listened to country music, you know, and just had a blast.
And that's why you had the country music on in here today.
Well, I always listen to country music, but they introduced me to a guy that's his name's Whitey Morgan. And
Yeah,
Whitey
I like
Morgan.
that stuff.
Do
Yeah.
you know Whitey?
Yeah.
So I
Stuff. I don't know him personally.
I had never heard of Whitey Morgan before.
yeah.
I'd never heard his music, and I was like, "Holy shit! This guy's like a young
That's
Merlin,
what my
a
husband
young
was.
Waylon mixed
Very
into
good.
one." I
Yeah.
mean, and I stood next to him, talking to him back in the green room when I was out there with the RS guys, and he's 6'6". His beard's almost as long as I am. I mean, he's got this beard and this hair, and he's like a semi-intimidating looking dude. And then he opens his mouth and he's like super intelligent, highly intellectual. I was expecting full redneck accent. Well, no, he's actually from Flint, Michigan. I mean, it was, but yeah, just like, yeah, this industry is just full of so many wonderful people. You know, I'm lucky to, I feel lucky to get to be the part that we play in it, you know, and now having these builders, like actually at SEMA this year, I mean, I had the Z-Rods and Customs guys who have that crazy carbon C-10. I don't know if you saw that, just like stellar. And it's,
I need to go back and look at everything because there was some amazing
stuff.
Oh yeah.
That
the
one
caliber is definitely
flipped me out. That truck, you need to see this truck because it's an all carbon truck. They did everything 100% in house because they have a secondary business from the custom side, which is doing in house custom or full carbon fiber, pre-preg, autoclave, like doing it the right way. So this truck is so beautiful, you would swear it's never been driven before. Nah, bullshit. It's already gone off track once with Kyle Tucker behind the wheel from DSE. Kyle Tucker helped them to develop all the suspension and chassis components for this thing. And Kyle's the one that's going to be driving that truck all season long this year, competing.
Nice.
You know, and the thing is stunning, you know, and the Z-Rods guys are like, hey, any chance you'd want to shoot this thing? And like, well, yeah, but we need somebody to sponsor the trip to come out. Well, you just let us know what it'll cost, and we'd love to have you come out and shoot, you know? And they're like, while you're here, who I've never met Bobby Alloway. I've heard great things about Bobby.
Yeah.
But they're like, you know, Bobby's real close by us, and I'm sure we could wrangle up something.
Yeah.
They're Alabama, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's in Tennessee. Yeah.
They're like within a couple of hours of each other.
I went. He wasn't there, but I got to go in his shop or whatever and see that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So now I'm cooking up this idea of, I don't have a real name for it yet, but I'm going to call it the Midwest Road Tour.
I like it.
And because, you know, I'm sure you guys know about it, and you know, plenty of the viewers probably know this, is within a few hours of each other in the Midwest, you've got Rad Rides by Troy, Roadster Shop, Ring Brothers, Andy Leach, Cal Auto Creations, BBT Fab. I'm sure I'm drawing a blank on a few other, the Z-Rods guys, they're right there in Indiana, all within a few hours.
Yeah.
So with the RS guys, I was like, hey, so I got this idea. I think it'd be really fun. I'm going to need you guys to participate in this a little bit. I said, so we fly into town, we shoot a video with one of your custom vehicles. Then we take one of your Legends trucks for about a week.
Cool.
And we drive your Legends truck to northern Wisconsin, shoot with the rings. We drive down to Indiana. We drive over to Nebraska. We drive, you know, hit all these these spots. And within like a week, we could shoot 6 or 7 of the biggest builders in the world.
Yeah.
They're all right there, you know. So
love it.
they already said, yeah, cool, we're all in on that.
Sounds great.
They're
How
like,
could they not?
take a Legends truck, have fun, you know. So now I need to get a little more sponsorship together. Marriott, I'm coming for you.
I was going to
Right
say, what
here,
about
you heard this?
Southwest?
I'm
I
coming
know
for you.
Southwest
2024.
lands in Tennessee, right?
So what I want is, here's what I want.
Here's what we'll lay it out for
While
everyone.
we're here, just in case like the CEO of Marriott Corporation's watching this, or Sonic. So I thought what would be super.
You need to eat.
Well, yeah, but how cool would this be, right? So we shoot a video, end of the video. Each one of these videos ends with, hey, we're jumping back in one of the Roadster Shop Legends trucks. Thanks to Marriott for supporting this, because we're looking forward to getting to our room later on tonight and crashing out. But before we do that, we're going to have a meetup at the local Sonic.
Love it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So now we go to Sonic and let people know ahead of time, and maybe 10 or 20 people that know the channel show up and want to come hang out and have a burger with us.
10 or 20.
that all
Probably
you're
more.
Or more, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like
as much as the parking lot will allow.
yeah. So that's the idea for the Midwest
Love
Road
it.
Tour. So
That's cool.
I want Marriott on board and I want Sonic on board.
There you go. You heard it.
But he's not opposed
there's your
to
invitation.
Hilton Honors, right?
I would totally do Hilton.
Honors.
I would do La Quinta Suites and all. I mean, what I won't do again is, and I'm calling you guys out, extended stay America.
Ooh, right there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, right, Chris? Gunshots in the parking lot that we were in.
Oh gosh.
Oh no shit! We were the night we went with the Roadster Shop guys, and they were so funny. They said just book the trip, and me being me, I was like, well, let's find some cheap local hotel.
Sure.
I don't want to hit them up for a big expense for hotel rooms, you know. Dumb, especially had I known they were getting to do the automotive thing. I'd have been like, yo, where's the Four Seasons? But so we went cheap on hotels. Extended stay America was where we were at. So after the Whitey Morgan show, we're getting back to our hotel. We're,
Looped up.
we're a bit inebriated, we'll say. And as we're pulling into
These
the
are
parking
not
lot,
all these stories that we share.
yeah, but we're pulling into the parking lot, and there's cops everywhere.
Oh.
And I'm like, this isn't like a domestic disturbance kind of thing. Something just went down here. And then we look to the backside of the hotel, and there's all the yellow caution tape.
Oh shit.
Like, rad, I want to get in my hotel, and I think somebody got their ass shot out here. Sure enough, somebody did. Somebody got shot and killed there in the parking lot at Extended Stay America.
Wow.
Even if you guys want to sponsor us,
I have this
your
silly.
hotel now scares me.
I have this silly question. Where was the place we stayed the last night?
Oh, maybe it was something like that. Was it
extended
called that? Was it? It might have been on.
I don't
And
know. Did we were
Possibly.
pretty concerned.
I don't
It was
remember,
like a
but
little-
yes, it was. I was like, I'm going to be cheap the last night or whatever. And yes,
Yeah.
that's it. You're right. It was a cheaper version. What did we say? Oh, we stayed at Marriott the other night. And
Yeah.
I felt it was amazing.
Marriott
Hands
were-
down.
yeah.
It was
Yeah. Usually
Yeah.
I'm pretty good
Definitely.
about when it's my own money. I'm
That's fun.
always
Do you think
willing
it
to spend
was?
money on a hotel, but
Was it? I mean, I could
know.
see
I-
it was
I have this
I was
sneaking
uncomfortable.
suspicion
Yeah.
It is.
She was like, I'm like, it's a bed to stay in.
Oh,
whatever.
that was great.
The
That
last
was my
night
approach
let's
before.
hurry
It was
off to
still
our
like
room.
it was like still $300 or something stupid.
crazy.
It
that's
was-
that's
it
the
was-
crazy part
yeah.
is that when we
Be-
stayed at that, I remember it
Oh, it
being
was
like
still super expensive, yeah.
$175
Yeah.
a night per room. And we always, when we travel, there's three of us. I'm too old to share rooms with people, so we all get our own room.
Yeah.
And it was like $175 a night for,
Yeah.
I mean,
Each per-
ghetto. Like,
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. No, it's getting way more. I know. And it's during SEMA. It's expensive during SEMA.
Right.
Everyone knows SEMA week
Yeah.
For sure.
is 4 or 5 times higher than what normal.
You know where I stayed this year? And, oh, man, never mind. I'm not.
Not gonna go
I'm
there.
not
We
giving.
could go off on this.
I'm
stuff,
not
huh?
giving up this secret. No, because I found. I'm not
You'll
kidding
tell us
you.
off camera.
Well,
I am not kidding you. By far, best hotel I've ever stayed at during SEMA, and I will go there every single year going
Walking
forward.
distance?
Walking distance? Shit, it gives up part of it right there.
so
we stayed at the Spring Hill.
the Spring Hill Suites,
Suite.
which
This bitch slaps that in the sense of, and I'm not. No.
No
I swear.
casino attached, right?
And I'm not.
it was awesome.
See, we had no casino attached.
Same with where we were at.
Okay.
No casino.
I loved it. I could
No
walk,
bar,
I could
no
go
nothing.
go to the Westgate bar and walk straight across.
Yeah.
I was in my room.
So I was.
Close to that, or listen, the peanut gallery
we can
over
move the
there is saying,
conversation.
But what was rad was when I got up to my room, the first time I walked in, I was like, this is like a luxury 1-bedroom apartment.
Was I
Bitching.
not saying that same thing
Bitching.
when we walked
Yeah.
into
Go to
ours?
Spring Hill. Go
Yeah.
to Spring Hill. It rocks. I love it. I love it. Go to Spring Hill.
I'll get it out of one of you.
I ain't telling you where I was at.
I get it
Well, he
out of
doesn't
one
want
of
to
you
share
for
with the
next
rest of
year.
the world. He'll share with
That's
us,
cool.
I'm sure.
I will.
cool.
I
Not
will.
with the rest of the world,
You
which
can
I
just
totally
tell
No,
me
understand.
because then next year when I go
Totally.
to book it, it's going to be all sold out, and I'm going to
Totally.
be bummed.
I totally agree.
No,
Yeah. No.
I liked our accommodations.
I was
though.
very
I
happy.
thought that what we had. So
I was very
props
happy.
to you. It was great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep.
Comfy
Everybody,
beds,
Spring Hill.
too. Not everybody Spring Hill. I don't think there's extra room for any of those other people.
It was the first time I'd ever stayed in a hotel in Vegas that wasn't a casino-based place.
Oh, it's so nice that way.
Bitchin'.
Yeah.
At the end of the
yes.
end of the night after being
First
out
off,
partying,
there was a coffee maker in the room, which
Yeah.
my sister and I normally always have to bring our own coffee maker just to make sure, because you don't want to stand in line with 50 other people in the morning.
Totally, and that's
my
what
gosh.
it is every time.
All these little things like that make a big difference.
Well, and I suck at the end of the night because I've been out with friends and stuff,
Yeah.
and we've been drinking and
Yeah.
partying, and then you get to your hotel and you go, I just want to get to my room. But then I start walking through the casino and the ding, 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 and everybody's having fun. And there's Billy Bob, and I haven't seen him in a while.
You don't talk to a person for 5 minutes. You talk to them for an hour or two.
And another
That's
couple
normal.
of cocktails.
Yes.
You know, and then
That's
and I'm
what
not a
SEMA
big
is.
gambler, but it's always like, I can pop over here for a few minutes, you know.
Yeah.
And this was so rad to wake. And the worst is, I get up in the morning, I want to go downstairs, have a cigarette, and have a cup of coffee. That's what I want to do. And walking down, and you're like, ding, 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 and everyone's still partying from the night before. You're
We
like,
were
bro,
yeah.
just stop, just please for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you know.
It's different. It's a different feel. I know. We were talking about that too. We were like, I don't think I want to stay at a casino again. And normally we stay at like Sahara or SL, whatever that is. So, I
So
mean,
you're
that's a
still
little
walking.
more chill anyway. It's not too bad. Well, we take the monorail, so it goes right there.
Yep.
So that's pretty nice. But, so that's like a better casino. But yeah, I know.
It's still just that thing, and I love casinos. They're
Yeah,
fun as hell. I mean,
I know.
their
But not
design
when you're
function
ready to go
serves
to
its
bed.
purpose.
Yeah, not
No.
when you're ready to go to bed.
No, when you're done
kinda
deal.
like, I'm done.
And especially the morning for me when I wake up and I want to have that cup of coffee, and just to have to walk through the ding, 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 ding. People are still partying like, fuck yeah. Like, dude, go to sleep.
you know
It's
you're gonna
7
dream of
in
this
the
tonight.
morning.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
totally. Nightmares. Especially with all this whacked out medicine in my system. I'm going to be like, ding, 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 ding. Totally.
I so see that.
You just got to
What
snort
was
out
that?
of me, by the way.
Yeah, and you were the first. It wasn't me this
snorted.
time.
I know.
I snorted.
Yay, thank you.
Yep,
Thank you
yep.
so much. This has been Shawn the Snorter. Oh my gosh, Shawn, thanks so much for catching us up with what you've been up to.
Yeah.
I can tell we probably have like 4 or 5 more episodes with you that we could do, and we'll just keep them coming.
Totally. And we'll catch up a little bit. I mean, it's so funny
It
because
was
I feel like even
tip of the
SEMA,
iceberg.
like there's so much to SEMA.
So
Yeah.
much.
There really is.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
That's a whole thing in
It
itself.
is.
I
It's a
mean,
whole
it
nother
really
thing.
is.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
thank
gosh.
you all for watching today and listening. Like, subscribe, follow us, do all those things. High Octane Hustle, the podcast, official, whatever.
Autotopia LA. If you
Shawn?
don't, I can't imagine that you don't already follow this guy. What's that?
If not, we do burnouts once in a while.
Oh, and we're accepting applications for people who like to do burnouts.
Always.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.